Welcome to Unstuck. Today's exploit is a favorite kind, not a hack but an accounting bug, a one-line profit calculation that quietly drained the trading bot's own money. We'll reproduce it live in Foundry, watch the buffer disappear, then fix it. This one's subtle, so we'll go slow. Picture an arbitrage bot. To trade, it takes a flash loan, runs a cycle of swaps, repays the loan, and keeps the profit. Someone adds a small optimization. Pre-fund the bot with a little of its own capital, a buffer, so tiny trades can skip the flash loan gas. Within 20 minutes, the bot had lost money. Here's why. This is the generalized reconstruction of a real bug. The lesson matters more than the names. A like helps. First, the safety that the optimization quietly removed. Here is the safety net you get for free with flash loans. If a cycle loses money, you can't repay the loan, so the entire transaction reverts. A losing arbitrage simply unhappens. You're out nothing but gas. The bot also has a profit check that refuses to bribe the builder unless it actually made money. Both of those depend on one assumption. After the cycle, the bot compares its balance to what it owes the flash pool. Profit is balance minus the loan. If that's below a threshold, it reverts instead of paying the builder. The whole thing assumes the balance is just the borrowed money plus or minus what the cycle earned. Watch what the buffer does to that assumption. Here's the buggy line, which balance is balance of the contract, and now that includes the pre-funded buffer. So profit equals buffer plus or minus the cycle's gain. The borrowed money cancels out, but the buffer stays in. Profit is now padded by your own capital. Due to the algebra, balance is the buffer plus the loan plus or minus the cycle gain. Subtract the loan and profit is the buffer plus or minus the gain. So even when the cycle loses money, profit is still roughly the buffer. A positive number, the guard passes, the bot thinks it profited, and it bribes your own buffer straight to the block builder. Let's run it. A one with buffer, a deliberately losing cycle. Before buffer 1, we run the losing arb, and look, it did not revert. After buffer 0, the bot lost real money on a trade that should have simply reverted. The optimization ate the safety net. Before the buffer, what losing cycle couldn't repay the loan, so it reverted, but you lost only gas. With the buffer, there's enough balance to repay, so the transaction goes through, the guard is fooled, and the buffer is bribed away. Your own capital quietly covered the loss and tipped the builder for the privilege. The fix is a one idea. Snapshot the buffer before the flash loan arrives and add it to what you owe. Now owed is the loan plus the buffer, so profit is balance minus both. The real cycle gain only. Your own capital is fenced off from the profit calculation entirely. Same one with buffer, same losing cycle, fixed contract. The losing RB now reverse. The insufficient profit, exactly like the unfunded case. Buffer after still one. The safety net is back even with own capital in the contract. Side by side, the old contract runs the losing RB and drains the buffer from 1 to 0. The fixed contract reverts and keeps all of it. The difference is a single principle. No profit is the real cycle delta, never your balance. The takeaway is well beyond trading bots. Profit is the value you created, not what happens to sit in the account. Never let your own capital leak into a did I profit check. And respect that an optimization error own capital to save gas can silently remove a safety property you are relying on. When in doubt, measure the delta before versus after, not the absolute balance. Recap, the own capital buffer got counted as profit, so losing arbitrage looked profitable and bribed the buffer away. The fix adds the buffer to what you owe, so profit is the real cycle gain and the losing cycle reverts. We reproduce both live in Foundry, drained versus reverted. A tiny accounting bug, a real loss. Quick one, if these breakdowns help you write safer contracts, the wallet's on screen and there's a Ko-fi link in the description. Every tap funds the next one. This was a generalized reconstruction, the lesson, not the names. If it helped, hit like and subscribe. Real bugs and exploits explained simply so you can spot them before they cost you. See you in the next one.